Thank you for choosing to join the conversation. Welcome, first time listeners and the Ignite the You crew. Just so you remember, this is your podcast, and the content that you want fuels the show. With that, leave your comments here on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All the links are at the bottom of the page. Just scroll down. We have a great show for you today and hope ignites the conversation with you. We're back with another awesome conversation for you guys. We want to talk about population control and population control policies, and if maybe we can look around and see some evidence of that going on around us. So, what we found out is that there are some different countries that have population control, which you probably already know, like China, most prolifically, with their one child policy. But we also wanted to know what a population control policy was. So basically, it's this guy named Thomas Malthus, that's the world's population would outgrow its food supply. A movement began early in the 20th century to limit the number of births and therefore limit the number of people that needed to be fed in the country. Um, so that led us to a discussion about the one percenters versus the 99 percenters and conversations that we've had before about food stamps and these food stamp boxes. So I'm interested what your thoughts are on the 1% just kind of knocking out the 99. There's movies all over the place. I just watched one, Brothers Grimm.
Yeah, the 1%. I mean, they are not looking at the whole picture. They're gonna get rid of everybody except for themselves. Who's gonna do the work? Who's gonna keep them to 1%? Now, if you're the only thing that's here is the 1%, they will be considered as the 99% also, right?
There's lots of space and opportunity to get rid of the riffraff. I mean, look at all these neighborhoods. If there was population control,
It is
like
population
the
control.
abortion clinics that have quotas in the black neighborhoods and different entities trying to poison the food. You were just talking about chemtrails and all kinds of things. So, I mean, as we discuss this, I see evidence of them trying to take out a lot of people. I see illnesses popping up, new flus every year. This flu was really bad.
I know. I mean, that flu that came out this year, oh, that was like had me by the neck and everything. I wonder if that came from all the stuff that they put in our foods, the air, the water. I mean, wow. Uh, you might be on to something, with this population control. You might be on to something. I heard there are a lot of programs out there. People, rich people that have programs to offer vaccines that's supposed to be make you healthy, but make you sterile instead. Poisons in the air, poisons in the waters. I mean, it is crazy, folks. Crazy.
Isn't Flint, Michigan the most recent and prolific evidence that they are trying to kill poor people? I mean, it happened right before our eyes. And I mean, it seems like once we keep hearing about new news stories, all of those old stories go right out the door. And nothing's changing because our attention spans are so small that if it's not on our phone every single day that we're not thinking about it, we're programming our phones to do everything for us. And I think that helps us become the sheep, that 99%, and why they're looking to get rid of the people that are taking up so much space.
Man, I tell you, the number one offense, the game plan is to keep stuff going on at the bottom so they can do this uh, population control, so they can do the things that they want to do. If they keep us arguing amongst each other, who paying attention to what they're doing? No one.
That brings me to my next question. Is it racism? Is it classism? Or is it colorism? Because honestly, poor people don't come in one shade.
Well, in this case, it's all three ideologies. Uh, racism, the white supremacists, uh, they're they're part of it. Then you got your the racism at the border level, and then you got what you say the colorism. That colorism that's a different one. I know. I thought colorism was racism amongst the same color. But come to find out, it's colorism, huh?
Well, colorism, from what I've discovered,
Huh?
over the last couple of days, is okay. So it's the light skin, dark skin versus each other. You're absolutely right. But it also is, if I'm walking down the street and I see someone else of another nationality and they look at me and they're afraid because they've been prepared in their mind by the media, by all of these different sources, to be fearful of my kind. Not that they're actually afraid, but they've been conditioned to be that way. And so that's also colorism. It's not racism.
Wow. So that sounds like a cop out for racism because the reason I say that, okay, you locked the door because you're afraid of me because of my color, or you didn't lock the door because of colorism. I don't care if you like the color. Colorism, because another white person could walk by, for example, could walk by, and that person is really a killer, and you won't lock your door.
I don't think that's true because, and I'm not trying to make a joke here, if a regular pale white person that voted for Obama crossed the street and saw Donald Trump, I think they'd be afraid. I think they'd be fearful, and that's colorism because he's the color orange.
Now, see, they be scared. They be scared to Donald Trump. Make them do stuff and then lie about it. So they decided to do that on their own. Donald Trump said he ain't make nobody get up there and tell no lies. They tell no lies because they want to tell a lie. I tell it like I see it, and they get up there and lie about it.
I'm just saying, it's scary. If I saw Donald Trump, I'd be afraid. And that's not reverse racism. It's, for me, it's colorism. And see, I've dealt with colorism a lot in my life. I was too dark to hang out with the I'm sorry. The dark people didn't want to hang out with me because I was different from them. The Hispanic people, we were around the same color, so we were cool. And then, the other people, they had all of their color preferences. And it wasn't that we hated each other. We were in class together. We preferred hanging around people that look like us. And I think that we all feel comfortable that way. And in order to break the stereotypes that we all have underlying, whether they're conscious or subconscious, we need to start involving ourselves in diverse activities. We need to also watch out for this population control because if we don't get together, they're going to tumble over us. You guys ignite the conversation. We sincerely hope that you enjoyed the show. It was a blast discussing the topics you want to hear about. Let's continue the conversation. You can join the group on Facebook. There are over 500 Igniters waiting to continue the conversation with us. If you'd like to join us for a podcast, send us an email because we would love to chat with you. Ignite the You, ignite the conversation.